So if you want an Ice-Class expedition yacht today and you decide to build it in Europe, it's going to take you 3 or 4 years to get one built. The prices are sky high and everyone's saying that there aren't any available. So here is a solution, which is the conversion of an existing 19-knot Ice-Class search and rescue vessel that's sitting in Vigo, Spain, and I'm going to show you how this conversion can happen in under a year. But first I want to talk about 3 attributes that this boat has built into it that are very unusual and make it an ideal conversion prospect for a very capable expedition yacht. Generally on commercial vessels and government vessels, you don't have stabilizers. You find these on yachts and people like to have them. Problem is with a stabilizer is you've got the fins out and you go into the ice, you're probably going to rip your fins off. So these fins, and these are very specialized fins. There they are, doing what they usually do. But in this case, they go back into the hull. They're called retractable stabilizers. They cost a little extra money, but you got to have them if you're going into the ice. The second thing is that it's serious ice class, and when you have serious ice class vessels, they generally go slow because in order to be ice class, whatever their speed rating is, you've got to have the strength and the integrity in the hull to encounter ice, in this case at 19 knots. So that is a very fast speed rating on an ice class hull. The other thing that is somewhat unusual on an ice class vessel, when you have to reinforce the hull, usually you have a bow that's a traditional bow. This one has a bulbous bow, and the bulbous bow itself has to also be built to ice class. And so they are already baked into this vessel, and that adds value, and it adds to the capabilities of your finished yacht that you won't find in a lot of other vessels. So the first thing to know is that this vessel was delivered. It was sea trialed. It met all of its specifications for speed, stability, sound, and vibration. It was designed as a search and rescue vessel for the Danish government, specifically to be used year-round in the North Sea in all weather conditions, including ice. According to press at that time, one of the shipyards involved became insolvent, allowing the Danish government to exit the contract. When terms could not be agreed, one of the shipyards involved took complete ownership of the vessel, and they are the ones who are selling it now. On a government rescue vessel, system failure is not an option, so everything you see on this vessel has full redundancy. Principal power comes from 3 Mon generator sets, and the electricity runs basically from those generators to the actual motors on the shafts and up to the bridge in a fully integrated electrical system designed and installed by Rolls-Royce. This shot is from my inspection in the deepest part of the hull. So here's a quick design study done by the very talented Grant Moen, who is himself an expedition yacht captain. He's up in Greenland right now, but he has cruised a number of times into Antarctica and other remote regions and across oceans around the world. Grant and I agreed that this is an extraordinary vessel, and we didn't want to rip it apart. We wanted to take what was there and build on it and convert it into an extraordinary and unique expedition vessel. So let's start at the top. This is unused technical space, which is actually very valuable real estate. Look what Grant's done here. We have what I call the skybox, which are the best seats in the house. And then just below that is the sun deck with a forward-facing lounge. And aft is a hot tub, retractable sunscreen, and sun pads. The existing bridge has got big glass and 360-degree views. But what we want to do is open it up for owners and guests, so we've doubled the size of the bridge, expanding it aft. Moving aft, the deck has a big opening in it for taking out oil spill equipment. We're going to close that in, keep the crane, and turn that into a tender deck. We'll build a proper helipad onto the transom, where there's a rescue platform now. So typically on a white yacht, in order to launch your tender, you have to find a sheltered anchorage and then dedicate 3 or 4 crew for the launch. Emergency rescue vessels have to be able to launch their rescue craft in all sea conditions while underway. So we have this existing incredible launch and retrieval bay that is there ready to go. This vessel only requires 9 crew for rescue operations, and yet it has enormous interior spaces. Upper deck and the main deck are dedicated for crew purposes, and they're fitted out to a high level already. The upper deck on the starboard side, you got 30 meters or 98 feet of accommodations to starboard, 21 meters and 70 feet to port. The next deck down has the same size, but it has a forward compartment, which is 2 decks high and currently unused. So what we're going to do is grab this upper deck for owners and guest accommodations, and we'll take the deck below, which is already set up for crew, it's got plenty of room, and expand that into the bow for the extra space we might need. So the 9 crew currently have 11 oversized cabins with big portholes, and each with an ensuite head, 15 heads overall. There are offices. There's a big crew gym with big windows, and then a spacious captain suite, which is matched by a chief engineer suite across the hall there. There's thick thermal and sound insulation, not only in the walls, but also in the floors and the ceiling. The large commercial galley is backed up with walk-in freezers and refrigerators, along with trash compactors and other state-of-the-art waste management systems. So hopefully now you'll see better why this is an extraordinary vessel as a conversion into an Ice-Class expedition yacht, and also why we are saying it's not going to take a lot of time and money to do the conversion due to the way that this vessel was designed and built originally, especially when compared to other platforms that are available for conversion today.